Alright, so welcome to the first episode of the podcast. We'll most likely call this the Something That's Nothing podcast, inspired by the Something That's Nothing Discord server, as a lot of the planning did happen on there, and a lot of the people involved did inspire and motivate to make this happen. And while we will have guests, this first episode is with the homie Psychonautic. Now, Psychonautic will be a co-host. We just have a casual chat between us, some Psychonautic content, some personal things, just to really set the vibes so you can get an idea of how this is going to be, how Psychonautic will be, how I will be, which he's a great conversationalist, a great facilitator, has great flow, while I'm more of a great listener and more of an engager. But it's been a long time coming, and I'm happy to be finally dropping this. If you want to be featured on this, go to the Discord server in the podcast chat, or hit me up directly on the socials. But I'm sure you'll enjoy this, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. Yo, welcome today. This is the podcast. We in this motherfucking hoe. Alright. I'm waiting on Evan right now. And I'm waiting on Psychonautic right now, I should be saying. And we're gonna be getting this podcast going. It's gonna be very casual. We're just gonna chat like we normally chat, to be honest. Because that's how we kinda want it to be. We want it just to be chill, just us. And when we bring other people on, that's exactly what we want. Those are the... Yo!
Bro, my bad, bro.
Hey, what's good, bro?
Not much, man. I was just checking some other bullshit on Reddit.
Oh, you're good.
Dude, I'm happy to see that you're back at it today.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was a tough run, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
That was a good run, though. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better, in terms of just my lung and everything, and because I feel like it is just partially the muscles around my ribs that were being inflamed, because I was doing some stretching for it and some massaging on my back actually, and that actually seemed to help relieve it.
Yeah, there's so many things, like it's weird, like there's so many things that shit could be.
No, right. And I was sick on top of that, so it might have been the other shit I was telling you about with it, so I don't even know, but getting better, that's the main thing.
For sure. Let me try to find... Actually, it doesn't matter. Fuck, yeah, no, that's good, man. I just, dude, I'm like fucking... I was playing basketball today and I rolled my fucking ankle.
Oh fuck, bro.
Yeah, like I rolled it all the way up to like my second toe, dude. It sucks.
No, I hate when that fucking shit happens, bro. Especially when you twist it bad, bro.
Yeah, I was going for a layup, dude, and my fucking right leg just like fucking...
You just came on wrong?
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean, bro. I hate that shit. Sometimes I'll be out for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. For real, and there's like nothing you can do, like no one's gonna...
No, right, it's just rest, ice that shit if it's swollen.
Yeah, that's fucking...
And hopefully you can walk alright.
Nah, dude, I'm having trouble, like, to be honest, like, I mean, I only have trouble with, like, stairs.
No, right.
But, like, it hurts like hell when I walk. I'm fine, obviously, sitting down. Yeah, it like hurts like hell to put pressure on. But I mean, it just happened today, so like it's probably gonna feel 10 times worse tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the last time I did it, I could barely walk myself. Like I had to fucking hop on one foot for like 2 days, I think.
Yeah, I look like I have like a problem walking, like when I walk. You know, like I just look like I have a stroke or something. But it's just painful as fuck.
Nah, fuck that, bro. Shit. I was hooping too right before I ran.
But yeah, I've been losing a significant amount of the weight that I put on, so that's a good sign.
Oh, nice,
Like,
nice.
yeah, I'm like down to. I'm trying to turn it all into muscle, you know.
Of course, you got to.
Because like I gained the extra weight from the medication that I was on, and ever since I got off of it, like my metabolism is like back to where it was. I feel like, because now I was like 196 like last week, and now I'm like 180 something. So, like, yeah,
Still eating like the same.
Pretty much. I mean, I eat like garbage, but because I have a tight schedule.
Not
usually for dinner. Sometimes my girlfriend makes some good shit, but yeah, man, I just it's bullshit.
That's something I need to focus on, or I've been wanting to focus on, where it's just making better food.
Me too. Like, I literally think the same thing every day, but I don't do anything about it.
Or just making food in fucking general, to be honest, instead of buying out always.
Right, like, I just fucking...
Right, it's just the time factor, like you said, like, fucking gotta go to work, fucking gotta go do this. You only got so much time to do shit.
Like, I eat so many of those, like... I don't know if you have them up where you are, but they're called MetRx bars.
We might, to be honest.
Yeah, it's basically like a meal replacement bar. So
that's decent.
Like, sometimes I'll just like snack on that, or like today I had like a lot of fruit and shit. So, but yeah, no, that's one thing that I've been trying to get better at, and it's one of those things that I'm putting off, and I don't know why I'm putting it off. But like you said, it's probably just life.
Alright, so we're going to take a quick pause here for a message from our sponsor. Recently I partnered with Babbel, one of the best language learning softwares these days. I've been using it for a little bit myself now for some Spanish, and it has pretty much all the tools you need to learn how to speak, read, and listen to a new language. You can be at any level too. I took some Spanish classes back in high school, so I knew a little bit myself and was able to jump in slightly above the beginner stage. With at least 10 minutes a day, you can start picking up on a new language in just a few weeks. So if you want to help out the channel and get Babbel, click the link below in the description, and when you use my link, you'll get 60% off, or use the coupon code K1553QH. So click the link below and start learning a new language today. Love the channel and want to help support it? Consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member on YouTube. You'll get access to exclusive reports, early updates, behind the scenes content, one-on-one chats, and more. Join now here on YouTube or on Patreon /SomeoneNoOne. Any support helps and is highly appreciated. No, right, it's just managing everything, getting organized with everything. Especially these days, like there's so much fucking things going on. And living with our phones too, just like that, just conditions us.
Exactly.
It's like scattered mind.
I was just thinking about like the other day, like what it would have been like in the 90s. Like,
I mean, I feel like we got some, like, you know, the last like trendles or whatever of it.
Yeah, you
got the last feels of it.
Right, like what did kids do? Like, I mean, obviously I grew up in a time where like I knew what kids did, but like I wasn't a teenager, I wasn't anything like that. I just
probably got bored a lot more, but I mean, it's probably for the better.
That's what I think, because like, you know, boredom creates like a sense of like, oh, I want to do something, like pick up a guitar or, you know, do art or something. I just feel like, but yeah, no, pretty much.
Right, it encourages the mind, like, to actually find an interest in something.
Right. Yeah, no, I just got this cart from the not the dispensary, but this like smoke shop.
What kind? HHC?
No, the lady was like, I got 2 of them right now. I'm just waiting for my battery to charge. I haven't tried them, but the lady told me that it was like fire, like. So like I'm just gonna try it. It's Delta 8 and this shit called PHC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I
like
think
I've
you brought
never
that
had,
up.
yeah, I've never had THC before, but that must be what the intoxicating ingredient is.
Hmm.
Because Delta 8 doesn't really get me high.
No, right. Delta 8's just mild shit.
HHC gets me. Uh, HHC like makes me sleepy. It's high though, but I'm gonna try this out tonight and see if it slaps like she said it did.
You still cold turkey from that kratom?
Yeah, bro. It's I'm getting better.
I'm drinking some right now.
No, I told the lady at the same smoke shop today. She was like selling some. They have a ton of it, and she like, I was explaining to her because like they all know me in there. There's like 4 ladies that work in there, and I'm in there all the fucking time, so they know me.
Right.
And like I just like chill and talk to them sometimes. You know, I was talking to her today, and like she was like telling me about how she does kratom shots, and what I was telling her about, like, you know, the withdrawals that come with that. And she's like, what? You know, and she's like, I take like 3 of these a day. I'm like, and I'm like, yeah, it's an opiate, you know. And she was like, what is it? You know, she's like, what are the effects of withdrawal feel like? I'm like, but like these people, they don't know. Like,
damn.
They have no idea that like if you stop something like that, it's crazy. Like, we need the education for sure, because that lady was like surprised. It seemed like too that she didn't believe me. But
it's pretty
she's gonna
wild
fuck
to be
around and
honest.
find out.
No, right, you're gonna find out the hard way, shit.
Yeah, I mean, she would have no idea because she's kind of like middle-aged, but like there's literally a whole subreddit based on that.
No, right, just people need to be informed, all ages, all around.
Yeah, it's just people who have an addictive personality. In general, I think it's a helpful thing, but
true.
For some people, like any other drug, it can you know, really add up for a lot of, I know people that have took like 100 grams a day and shit like that of like powder. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like your intestines are gonna like blow up.
No, right, like how does your stomach even accept
Yeah,
that
I don't
much?
even want to know. Like, I don't even want to know. This dude I knew used to buy like kilos of it, like in bags, and just he would eat it like all day. And I definitely think it's a good thing, because like if you piss on it, you pop for methadone sometimes, like half the time. And like, yeah, it just seems like she didn't believe me, and I was like, okay. Like, I mean, it might be milder for, I doubt it, because she's like, she told me she had like a pain in her, like her back or something, and I was like, oh. But yeah, no, I don't like, the only thing I trust that anyone that works there says is that this shit gets me fried. So like, if they say that, I'm like, okay, because they don't know anything else other than that.
Oh,
like,
get you high.
Yeah, so she's like, this one right here, I was like looking at the 3 chi and shit, and I was like about to get a 3 chi HHC just like normally.
Yeah.
And she like comes over to this one and she's like, I had this and it's fucking fire. And I was like, bet. And so I just tried it out. We get 2 for 1.
You trust them, right? They know what's up.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the only thing they know about. It's funny. It's like, yeah, it's interesting too, because that shop is getting they have a sale and they're getting rid of their whole inventory of acetates. So like THCO and then Delta 9O. So like it's crazy that they're like enforcing that and like making them pull it from the shelves.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, is that like a state law or something, or?
I don't know. I really don't know why it's happening.
Because I couldn't find any information on it specifically. I was gonna ask if you had a source or something for it, because I just wanted.
No, it was, yeah. I wish I knew. You know, somebody had to obviously order them to do it.
Right.
But they're trying to sell their whole inventory and like not do it. I mean, Ohio has some pretty strict. Like our governor is a complete dumbass. Like, we have some weird laws in Ohio, but like, you know, instead of like tackling the drug problem or the opiate crisis, like our fucking governor legalized fireworks. Like, dude, do something helpful.
No, right. Like, fuck. Fucking 4th of July, great.
Yeah, like, no, these idiots can bug people with like. I can imagine like fireworks are illegal now in Ohio to like you can use them anytime, and imagine the people with like PTSD and shit. Like that'd be horrible.
Right.
That shit popping all the time. Like I just think it's really stupid. But I don't know. Somebody must have ordered them to like stop selling that product, and I don't know if it's like I doubt it's a law. Like I don't think you're gonna be able to find any information on it. I think it's probably like a more of like a business decision or something like that. Like I think it's like probably there's like a private reason as to why, because it like that place sells some high end shit. Like they have 3Chi, like they have like some of the best brands.
No, right. They've just probably got advised to, like, because of this, we see in the foreseeable future this could happen with these products. So.
Yeah. I don't know why, but they have like 70% off THCO, which I already told you I don't like that.
Should I be eating that shit?
Yeah, I mean, I ate a whole bag of THCO edibles and it did nothing. Must be my metabolism or something.
Get on some like 800 milligrams.
Yeah, I mean it was
or
up
something high.
It was up there, but I felt something, but it was like this uncomfortable, dissonant feeling. I remember, and yeah, I just never jived with that. It just never like works its way through my system. It never works through my system all the way. Like Delta 8 edibles fuck me up really bad.
Oh yeah, dude. Delta 8 for me, I feel like they get too heavy, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's too strong at times, like, and too heavy where I can't do too much and just be stoned.
Right. They have HHC lean where I live. Like it's like HHC like in a cough syrup bottle. I've tried it. It is fried. Like you get fried.
Hell yeah.
But I guess this PHC is like technically for hydroxy CBD or something.
Okay.
And, I think it's like supposed to last really long, and it's like it metabolizes into the same potency as THC. It's at 99%. So
yeah.
So I mean, I'm willing to try it. Hopefully, it's not a bust. But
yeah, I remember it converts to THC 99%. Yeah.
Yep, 99%, and hopefully it's like that. I mean, I hope it's that chemical, because sometimes PHC refers to proprietary, like hemp, or something. Like it stands for like a blend of something. And like, I don't think so, because these carts seem to be like, I don't know, like more like better. I don't know what the brand is, but when someone tells me it gets me fried, I'm just like, all right, take it. Like, yeah. But it's weird that I can buy like brands that you normally buy on the internet and stores like that.
No, to be honest, like
I never see 3Chi anywhere besides that store.
I don't think I have in a store.
No. Like they have
normally
disposables.
some like fucking off brands here.
Right. They have fucking disposables from 3Chi. They have carts from 3Chi. They have like a whole wall of like Delta 8 carts and then some HHC carts. And
it's decent as hell.
Yeah, and then I think the D9O is gonna get they're probably gonna take that off too. So, but it's not the acetate problem. It's that shit gets me fried. The Delta 9 acetate. I don't know what it is about THCO that doesn't jive with me, but we're all different, I guess.
No, right. Especially when it comes to edibles, I feel like I notice that people can be super different with that.
Yeah, like in my opinion, I think HHC it's a nice high, but it's also a very sleepy one. And I also, just my opinion, so from my experience, maybe it was a shitty brand, but I really feel like in edible form, Delta 8 is stronger than HHC. Like, I really kind of feel that. Just because all the Delta 8 shit that I've had is, like, put me on my ass.
See, this is why I like THCO, though, because it doesn't really get me sleepy at all. And it, like,
okay.
And it's still, like, I still have a focus that I kind of get from smoking weed.
Right. So it's like a kind of like sativa head.
I wouldn't say almost more indica like, because it's more like euphoric and blissful in that regard. Right. And it reminds me more of an indica, but it's its own thing, of course.
Yeah, like people have like these bullshit strains on even like the good vendors have like bullshit. It's like, this isn't, I mean, the terpenes might be right, but it's weird to call it something like a strain.
No, right.
Like, you know, I don't know, just my opinion. But yeah, I think people say that about Delta 10 too. Like, I don't prefer Delta 10, it's way too weak for me. But I think people with a lower tolerance have like, Delta 10 is supposed to be kind of stimulating in a way.
See, I haven't tried Delta 10.
It's like Delta 8's baby brother. It's like not even. It's like half the strength of Delta 8.
Well, shit. It's not the direction I'm trying to go.
No, it sucks. For sure. It sucks. But they sell a lot of them. Like,
have you tried THCV?
Oh yeah. That's a nice one.
It's an antagonist though, isn't it?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I haven't really looked into all. I mean, I've looked into some of these, but
what can you tell me about that one?
Which one?
THCV.
Well, I can tell you that it's like, you mean like the effects?
That you're just subjective effects that
you
can
it's
remember.
More like, it's cerebral, so it like reminds me of a sativa. And it's also kind of like, it's, to me, it's like pretty short acting. Like, in my opinion, it's like a very short acting. It's kind of on there to like boost the other stuff.
Right.
But I think it's good. It's just a little bit too like, I like it with blends, to be honest. It's good if you like blend it with something, because on its own it's kind of like, it gives me anxiety a little bit. It's like kind of
but yeah, I've only had it with a Delta 8 blend.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good like power, like if you want to add power to a blend, for sure. My favorite, one of my also favorites, is the THCP.
Oh yeah.
That's
30x.
Yeah, that shit is good. That shit, I've had THCP edibles and they're fire. And the high is great. Like, I like the high from THCP. It's like very reminiscent of weed.
Yeah, I still got to get to that one.
Yeah. So apparently I have 4-hydroxy CBD, which is supposed to be like psychoactive. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint me. But I haven't tried this one yet.
Yeah, I just found here THCV is a CB1 antagonist.
Really?
So it's supposed to almost reduce some of the effects. It can reduce appetite. That's maybe why you got some anxiety even.
Yeah, but I'm thinking because it's I'm just speculating, but I think because it's fuck.
And it's a CB2 partial agonist.
That's what I was gonna say.
And in higher doses, it turns into a CB1 agonist.
Okay, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, to have these effects, like, is it an inverse agonist, or does it work like as like both of them? because I was like, you can't have that effect without it being. I was like an antagonist of the CB1 receptor. There's no way it's a full antagonist. So it's probably like dueling, kind of like dopamine. Like dopamine has like dueling receptors that do different things.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, all these new cannabinoids that aren't like JWH compounds or AM compounds. Like,
yeah, fuck all that, bro.
Yeah.
They should have came with this shit first.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool that people discovered it. It's just like we're finding out so many new chemicals that are produced by the byproduct of hemp. It's yeah, like also like I like the I don't really know the chemistry because there's not a lot out there about it yet. But another one, I like the P ones. Like I've always had a good experience with like HHCP or THCP. Like those are like really effective for me, and like I'm kind of wondering why that is. But I haven't been able to find like concrete affinity for any binding site or what it does. So I guess that's a mystery for now. But those things smack me in the face. The ones that end in P, those things.
Yeah, they just must be very potent.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, we're gonna pause for a quick promo. I just wanted to let everyone know you can directly support the channel through the Patreon or YouTube memberships, and get some pretty cool extras. As a patron or member, you get access to a collection of exclusive reports. In fact, my longest report ever, which is just over an hour, is exclusive for members and patrons. You'll also get access to early updates, your name posted in videos in the thank you section, exclusive early opportunities to get involved, behind the scenes content, one-on-one chats, and more. And I recently updated it with new tiers and benefits that I think everyone will enjoy. So if that sounds great and you just want to help support the channel, please do consider joining as a channel member or a patron on Patreon/SomeoneNoOne. Any support helps and is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I think, like your videos are gonna start to attract more people that are like seasoned with the stuff,
100%.
Like not particularly people that are like kids that want to get high on anything. I think anyone would turn that off if they wanted to get high on something. Like, it's for like the people that are really interested in it. And like I'll send you all my sources because I noticed that in your new videos you were like putting up all the sources, which is really cool. And yeah, I can definitely do DXM. I know a lot about it already. It's the right-handed isomer of levomorphin. So it's the right-handed isomer of levomorphin, and levomorphin breaks down into codeine.
Right.
So in any right-handed chiral molecule, that's an opiate. So if it's left-handed, it's going to be an opiate. If it's right-handed, it's going to be a dissociative. So it's all, DXM is morphinian, which is interesting because no other dissociative is really in that family. And then PCP is pretty straightforward, to be honest. But I'm excited about that one because that's like I kind of just want to break the myth. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to tell people to like, hey, go get PCP and take it, but I'm really trying to tell people like it's not that bad. Like it's not the monster that you think it is. There are some obvious effects, but I'm not going to try to go into detail about cases where somebody was like it was laced and they smoked it and whatever.
No,
like I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm trying to just talk about the drug and like subjective effects, like dreamlike trances, and I might even talk about Timothy Wiley, who was, I don't know if you know who that is.
Not.
He was like he's an advocate for, well, he's dead now, but he was like an advocate for PCP. He would take PCP all the time, and he would, like, small doses, and he would, like, draw these incredible, like, ideas, like his dreams and paintings and stuff, and he was like, whenever he was high on PCP, he claimed he had, like, the ability to, like, talk to dolphins or something like that. It was really cool. But yeah, that's one guy that, like, lived his life, and did PCP, and he's fine.
Oh, okay. I've seen this guy. He was on Hamilton's show, right?
Yeah, like, a while ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago. And yeah, that's interesting. But, like, PCP as a structure is pretty easy. I mean, it leads into a lot of complications because glutamate is complicated, as I'm sure you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're working on understanding the AMPA receptors and the NMDA receptors and all the different ones that come with the glutamate one there. It's hard to keep
it. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. Like, for me, the easiest one for me is the opiate family. Well, and the psychedelics are really easy too, with the exception of salvia. Well,
Yeah, right,
salvia, I guess, is easy.
That's an odd one. That's just a little X factor, but we will probably mention it just here and there.
It's weird because, like, I remember talking to you the other day about it, but, like, I thought of something. Like, we were talking about how, like, pretty much every neurotransmitter can induce some form of the psychedelic experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about like, obviously serotonin can and dopamine can, because phenethylamines, norepinephrine can. But I was also thinking that acetylcholine produces not psychedelic effects, but delirium. And there was one other neurotransmitter that I was going to talk about, but I can't quite remember it.
One of the, like, more general ones?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Well, glutamate's obviously psychoactive too. GABA is too. Trying to think of all these neurotransmitters.
I remember bringing up something in the benzetamine video that was kind of odd that had psychedelic potential.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it on the head. Like, I think you hit the nail on the head whenever you were talking about, like,
just with that substance and all its potential.
Well, I liked how you hypothesized that it could be because of a partial norepinephrine reuptake or something like that. You said. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know that. So whenever I watched your video, I was like, that's pretty cool because that makes sense. But yeah, it seems like you can pretty much tackle anything now because it's a weird chemical for sure.
No, right. One of the weirdest by far, and definitely shows we can get into fucking almost anything though.
I've heard of it, but I never have, like, delved into it. It's weird. They're saying kratom is, like, lately I've been reading the research, and they're saying kratom has effects similar to tramadol. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, it was interesting reading about it because there was a lot of case studies about people having seizures, and that's common with people that are predisposed and people that are on tramadol too. But tramadol is like partial opiate, antidepressant, whatever. But it's kind of dangerous, because it metabolism, ODSMT.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say with kratom though because there's just so much going on, and, like,
that's true. It's so unique.
I don't feel like it would be on par on that level with tramadol.
No, they were just
antidepressive
saying that,
effect.
No, I agree with you. They were just saying how, like, some of the characteristics line up with it. Basically just, like, throwing something at the dartboard to try to explain it.
True.
But it was an article. I mean, it was a good article. I just I thought that was very interesting, and I stand firmly that kratom has cannabinoid activity. There's no way it doesn't. Like, I know it hasn't been proven yet, but there are certain times where I'm like, when I was using it in the past, like where I was just like, this feels exactly like weed. Like sometimes, like I don't know why, I just feel it, the similarity.
See, I'm not sure. I mean, because I think of my like kratom high experiences like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. It's hard
I
to
just
say.
feel like, I just feel like it's a mix of something. Like, I don't know what the other thing is, and maybe
No,
they
right.
haven't.
I don't think it's just the opioid activity.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to it. So maybe they will discover something, but this is really kind of an unknown chemical. But I think people need to like be careful with like extracts and shit, and just like get educated on it.
No, right. Taking it too far, like you said. When you told me about that withdrawal state, I mean,
Yeah, exactly. And the lady at the store looked at me and she was like, and I was telling her like everything, and she was like, like did not believe me. I'm like, how do people like? How can you just like turn your head off to like something I'm saying? Like,
oh, they just don't want to hear it. They're tuning it out because they just don't want to deal with it if it's true.
Yeah, like I was trying to help her. I was like, I looked at her. I'm like, it's an opioid, and she's like, looked at me like, what? I was like, yeah.
Oh, right.
And I know there's a lot of people in the community that I don't know why, but they strongly say that it's not an opioid, but it's dumb as fuck. Like there are some people that are like, it's not an opioid. There's no way, like to justify something that they're already taking. And
the fact that it will help with the other withdrawals from actual opiates.
Yeah, and like I've heard people have success with alcohol with that. Like they come off alcohol and they take that and they quit. But I've heard a lot of stories from alcohol recovery. But it has a big following. I don't think it'll go anywhere for right now. Like, I mean, it has
it's been tested, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it has like a whole like army of people that are like willing to challenge the government against it because it's helped so many people get off of like potent opioids and like a Suboxone kind of.
No, right. I feel like we need it, to be honest.
Yeah, I really feel like people can like make that choice better than like a fentanyl accident or a Perk 30 or whatever the hell you take. Like, I feel like, in my opinion, that's enough. Like,
more than enough.
Yeah, like, I just feel like, but, when someone hears the term opiate, they get fucked up. I think that's why there's so much misinformation about what it is because people don't want to admit that it's an opiate because opiates are generally looked at as like, terrible.
The association, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's like, it's interesting. It's like so much more than that.
That's what's so beautiful about it too. It's not
right.
that.
Yeah, but people just put things in categories and boxes and like treat them that way. And no, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I think there's just too many advocates for it.
Agreed.
Which would be nice for. I guess it kind of came in like. I mean, I've read Arrowwood reports. I think, from people taking it in like 2006. I just wonder when like the boom started.
I can only imagine taking it back then.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it must have been like a delicacy. But after the shit exploded, like I think it's easier to keep something on the market that became something accessible, and like legal.
Right.
I think it's much harder to take that off the market than like let's say, or keep that on the market than let's say LSD. Like it's not established, you know what I mean? There's no legal, there was never anything legal about it in the first place. Like,
Right.
so it's like we don't have a chance with. Like, I feel like psychedelics are kind of difficult because they're not an established thing. Like nobody in the past has like ever bought psychedelics or done anything. You know, it's always been. I mean, it was legal for like 4 years, but
Not
that's
the
about it.
shortest time.
Yeah, like I think 1967 was like 1967 was probably the best year for a lot of people because the Beatles recorded Sgt. Pepper's, and Pink Floyd recorded their first album in '67. So, and then Jimi
Jeez.
Hendrix was playing. They went on a tour. Pink Floyd went on a tour with Jimi Hendrix in '67. And it's just like they must have been fucking out of their minds.
No, right, dude.
Like, there's no way. Like it's completely legal. They had like clubs and they were like dancing to like, you know, it's like nobody cared until you know the association came with like the hippie movement, which was propagated by the government to make hippies look bad. And yeah, I mean, Nixon admitted that. So
shit's fucked.
yeah, and also they're trying to get black people hooked on heroin and shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And like just to like destabilize the drug market or whatever.
I feel like they've been doing that since fucking the 20s, I think.
Since No, yeah, it's probably.
No, I know it's since the 20s. I was reading something. I think Malcolm X's autobiography, he was talking about it.
Oh, okay.
And like that was just a known thing, especially in like Harlem, New York and shit.
Right. Yeah. My favorite rappers from Harlem. Harlem's a rough place.
No, right. It's always been, I heard, so.
Yeah. Who's your favorite rapper? Like of all time?
It's hard to say because I don't know if I have like a set one. Like I maybe have a top 5 type thing.
Right.
I mean, I've talked to you about Young Lean before. He's in there for sure.
Yeah, he's been around.
Mac Miller, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mac was so talented. It's crazy.
Then I'd include probably Nas.
Yeah, Nas was great. He made the classic album.
He's still dropping fucking insane stuff, bro.
Yeah.
King's Disease 3 is the latest project. Insane.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, definitely.
Tupac.
No, yeah, of course. Gotta keep him in there.
Then for the 5th, it's kind of I'd probably say Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah, definitely. He like took a hiatus, but I was really into Food and Liquor when I was in high school.
Oh hell yeah, bro!
I remember that album. It was great. And then I think he came out with Superstar. The next one was like, I don't know what it was, but
I wasn't too big a fan of that project. Even if you listen to his interviews and stuff, he wasn't a big fan of it because
I wasn't either. I really wasn't a big fan. I liked Food and Liquor.
That's when the mainstream, like the fucking corporate or whatever, they were trying to like make him more mainstream and shit.
Right. No, I mean those are some good choices. I'd say I definitely have a favorite rapper. My favorite rapper is Big L. Straight from Harlem.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Big L shits on anybody. Big L from Harlem, rest in peace. Died too young, would have been a superstar.
100%.
Like he can out rap Jay-Z, freestyle. Like it was crazy. Like that dude was just dropping mics everywhere he went. Like, and that's my favorite one. And then definitely I would put Mac there. Mac's one of my favorites, and I like Mac because he's so honest, and he plays all of his instruments too. Like he plays keyboard sometimes, he plays bass lines for his music, and he's very talented. Plus,
insanely talented.
Yeah. Plus, like Faces for me was like such a great. Like I always listen to that. Faces is such a great album. It's all over the place and drugged out, and
Facts.
It's such a good album. Like it has 2 features by Earl Sweatshirt and him and Mac together. Earl and Mac together are like, man, it's like PB&J. And I also respect the fact, like, the reason also why I like him is I respect the fact that he doesn't try to appropriate. And he's always been accepted in the community, like the black community,
True.
because he's never. I mean, what other white rapper has been accepted in the way that Mac has?
I mean, we could question maybe Eminem,
Yeah, but like,
but not in the
there's
same way.
no. It's just like weird. Like Earl Sweatshirt fucks with Mac. Tyler the Creator fucks with Mac. Absol fucks with Mac. Like, um, Thundercat fucks with Mac. Like all these people.
Facts.
Like Kendrick fucks with Mac.
Madlib.
Yeah, and it's just like cool that like he never really tried to appropriate anything. He was just a rapper, and like he just let people use the studio for free. Like he let Kendrick record because he was already big when he was like 18. He was like kind of like a child.
No, he was making music in high school. I know with
Yeah,
because he went to the same high school as Wiz.
yeah, Wiz, yeah, and yeah, that was a fucking shame, dude. I remember when I found out he died, I was like, fuck, dude.
No, that shit was so surreal. Like, I remember I was at college and my roommate told me, bro, like, I just didn't want to fucking believe it. Like,
Nah. Like I knew he was like, fine, but like I thought he could handle himself. I mean, it was an accident, but
no, right?
I just-
mean, with fucking
just feel like-
fentanyl waste and shit, fuck that.
yeah. I mean, he was going in such a good direction. Like I love swimming. It was like deeply personal, and I love the vibe it gives off.
We should be getting another Mac album actually pretty soon, I think.
That's cool as fuck.
I don't know if you heard, because Madlib and Mac were working together.
Okay.
They're gonna have, he said it's almost done, Madlib. It's called Maclib.
That's cool, man. I'm glad to hear more. Because like everything that posthumously got released, because the album was supposed to be called Swimming in Circles.
Mm-hmm.
But he never finished the B-side because he died. Yeah, the B-side was Circles, so they made obviously that into Circles. And I mean, I'm telling you, every single they released is like fire. Like
Right.
It's just like calming and it's like good. Like Surf, they released that. I love that song. What's the other one? Small Worlds. Like there's just so many good songs that they released that would have been on the B-side. And I say definitely Big L by like a large margin. Mac, and this is in no particular order.
Oh,
Like-
you know who I forgot? MF Doom, bro.
Yeah, he slips under the radar sometimes. I'm really old school with my hip hop though. Like I like Big L, Mac.
Oh, how could I forget, bro? This has to be my top 5. 3-6 Mafia, bro.
Definitely.
That's easily my favorite rap group of all time.
Yeah. I liked Outkast too. I think,
Yeah, Andre 3000.
yeah, so I think for me it's Big L, Mac, Andre 3000, Rakim,
Yeah.
and Big Pun. I really like Big Pun. But that's only 5. Like
Got some OGs.
there's so many other ones like Method Man, like
Yes.
fucking I don't know, like I went through like a Jay-Z phase, to be honest, and like he's talented as fuck, to be honest. Especially
Do you ever listen to Liquid Swords by GZA?
No.
That's probably one of my easily top 5 albums of all time.
Yeah.
I'll fuck
But,
with a little Wu-Tang Clan.
For sure. I mean, I'm gonna like say it. It's like the most unpopular opinion that I have. So I just hide it most of the time. But I'm not a fan of Eminem. I don't like his music. I find it overbearing. It's like someone screaming at me.
No, I get what you mean, bro.
So like, Mac is an alternate choice. Like I wish Eminem was more like melodic and artsy with his music instead of just like rapping as fast as you can. Like that doesn't sound good.
No, right. I mean, it's like for the one time here and there, but you gotta have creativity.
Right. Like I mean, like some of the songs I do like by him, but it gets old, is what I'm saying. There's never any like progression.
No, I like his old school stuff.
Yeah, that was when he was like trying. That was whenever he's hungry. You know, he's trying to like build a name for himself. And I mean, we had.
It was like more pre-mainstream, more genuine.
Yeah. And then
Then like when around like by the time the late 2000s, it's like, oh, he's just fucking mainstream Eminem now. Fuck.
yeah, and then so many things started to break through. Like it was crazy. I was there. I remember the exact moment that and people don't want to admit this, but you know how like they say every once in a while a wave crashes and crests in music, like you know, like generate like something that's like popular gets wiped out by something else.
Yeah, and like a new wave is coming in,
Yeah,
basically.
like in the 80s there was hair metal and Nirvana completely destroyed it, just wiped it off the face of the map.
Right.
And in the 60s there was psychedelic music, and then rock just wiped it off the map, and metal did. And so like I remember the exact moment that rap changed, and that was due to Lil Yachty. I remember.
Lil
No,
Yachty.
I'm serious. When he released his first album, he was the first one to turn the tide. I remember everything changed when he made that album. Like everything. Like Playboi Carti came out. One of my favorite rappers, not Playboi Carti, but Uno the Activist came out.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like all these, and Lucky too. Like all these rappers came out of
When did
Lil Yachty.
he drop his first album?
I think it was like 2016.
We gotta still keep in mind Lil Uzi, bro. 2015.
Who?
Lil Uzi.
Oh yeah. That's true.
What is it?
There's
That one album, Me Against the World or something.
Right. I just like personally felt like the wave crested when he came out with like One Night, and like he had this unique kind of like mumbling sound, or like it wasn't like I actually went to see him and Playboi Carti. I saw them in Columbus, and
Oh, nice.
it was before they were like big, you know.
Right.
And I just felt like I feel like he doesn't get necessarily. I know a lot of people don't like his music, but like for me, he's like a figure. You know what I mean? He's not like somebody that I particularly enjoy. He's just like someone who came in and like changed. I mean, and then after that, there was lyrical rappers. I mean, you know, a lot of lyrical rappers came out still, but there was a lot of like a lot of mumble rap that came out of that, or if you want to even call it that.
No, right. I think of that double XL freshman list.
Oh my god, my favorite. I forgot to add to the list my 5 Kodak Black.
Oh, dude.
He's you know, that was one of the funniest moments. Did you see his freestyle?
Oh yeah.
It's like, why the fuck you picked this sorry ass beat?
They told DJ Drama that shit.
Yeah, and Kodak was just okay. Here's the thing about Kodak is that 99% of the time he fucks around with you. Like he's not very comfortable around people. He's not very. I mean, he had a traumatic life. Literally came from nothing, and I think in that it's funny because even though in that double XL freestyle it was like really short, I felt like he was going, like, you know what I mean, like he was just saying shit, like barely even trying. I just feel like his ability is
That's like him always, bro.
I know, but like when he's on a track, like he is so. I hate when people call him a mumble rapper because he's absolutely not. He reminds me of a young Gucci Mane.
To be honest.
Yeah, like he's straight up a lyrical. He's not very lyrical, but like.
He'll get into meaning, bro. He'll make something hit, bro.
Yeah,
Get
he
into
always.
something deep sometimes.
Sometimes he does. Yeah, like whenever after XXX Tentacion got killed, he made that Malcolm X song or Malcolm XXX. And it was really fucking deep about that. I don't know if
Or
you've ever seen
that,
it.
have you heard the following song?
Yeah, definitely.
That
That's a
one's
good one.
beautiful too.
Like I go back with Kodak. Like I started listening to him in 2015. I remember the album Institution.
Yes.
I remember that. And my favorite album, just because it has so many memories, is Lil Big Pac.
Yes.
That album has so many bangers on it. Like Gave It All I Got.
Yes.
Like that shit slaps. Like I'm in school, I got a glue stick, fill it up with rock. Like he has such good metaphors. Like he's like a mix of Gucci Mane and Lil Wayne, in my opinion. I just feel like he was kind of born in the wrong era. If he was born in like the 90s or something, he would have been very successful.
Oh, he's the savior though. That's why he's here now.
It's just like it's crazy. Like he literally came out of the hood from nothing. Like you don't usually see that. Like, and he was always good at spelling, you know. But he had like shit ass grades. But like he went to like spelling bees and shit, which makes sense. But no, I remember the first time I heard him, I'm like, this guy's interesting, and like the song also, he knows how to be an artist too. Like he totally changes the tone whenever he made Skirt, like that song. Like that's such
True.
a vibe, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's like Codeine Crazy by Future. It's just like a vibe. Like the whole song is just like a vibe. And I really liked that one. And then he started to get better and better, you know. And I think like I really think he tries. Like I think he has to dumb himself down to make radio friendly hits. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no way Tunnel Vision is all Kodak can do.
I mean, he's had others.
Yeah, that's true. Transportin' was a good one, and then First Day Out, that was a great one. Fucking, and that song with Gucci Mane was fire too on one of his new albums. I think it's actually on Lil Big Pac. He did a track with Gucci Mane, and they both killed it and shit like that. And he's got some big features too. And he was actually at Mac's studio a couple of days before Mac passed.
Oh, no way.
The last photo on Mac's Instagram is him with Kodak, and Kodak like has a big fucking smile on his face. Mac's laughing. It's like, who the fuck? Kodak doesn't respect anybody. It's like, dude, like, and he's chilling with Mac, and Mac's like, you know, Kodak is an enigma. I always was afraid that he was gonna get locked up or get shot.
No, I mean, he was locked up, and I was pissed when he was, bro. Like, we needed to free him.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest things Trump has done, was pardon him.
That was so hilarious, though.
I know, like, who thinks of, like, Kodak Black to be pardoned? Like,
by fucking Donald Trump.
Yeah. But, like, he for real, like, has dodged so many bullets. Like, he's caught so many charges. It's crazy. Like, let him slide. And, I think he's doing better now. Because I watched a documentary on him. It was actually from like, he'd said that because XXX grew up like really not close, but like near Kodak, like kind of area in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him saying in an interview, he was like, when X got shot, I was so mortified that like I moved to LA because I like, you know, he didn't just want to like, but he still goes back because he has like this, he always tells you about like his hunger to be back in like the hood. Like,
no, right, it's the roots, like,
you know what I mean? Like he said in one song, I can't leave my past behind me, you know? And then, you know, he really goes deep, you know, I can't leave my past behind me. I want to see the projects. I want to know what it looks like, you know? Like, he's just got that mentality that like, I feel like he's doing way better now than he was before because he's not catching any charges. He's been shot at a couple of times, but nothing too severe.
No,
But
right.
I think, in my opinion, that's the last person you want to run up on. I wouldn't run up on Kodak. There's no way. You know that guy has something in his belt.
No, right. I mean, you can't be lacking,
No way.
like you said, the PTSD stuff and just that alone.
Yeah,
It's gonna have him like just ready for some shit.
but it's like,
because that's the same way with my brother.
oh really?
Yeah, he has PTSD and he's just always kind of like just ready if just whatever, because you don't know what can go down, especially if you used to run it with gangs and shit like that.
Yeah, you're probably paranoid, and like that's what Kodak said in one of his songs. He's like, one of these days I'm gonna rob a house and someone's gonna blow my brains out, you know. And he was like, he has those like roots that he always goes back to, but I really think that like with Kendrick putting him on to like J. Cole too, I think a lot of big artists are like lifting him up because they realize that he's much bigger than the people he came from, much more talented. I mean,
Yeah, they all see it, they sense it. That's why they do it.
like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I was like, Kodak was using the term Big Steppers before Kendrick was even like, Kodak started that term. Like he,
Man,
you know,
I didn't even know that.
and like yeah, he had that branded and shit, and like he started it, and like it's just interesting that, you know, Kendrick sees the potential, so does J. Cole, and it's difficult at some points to understand him, but there's a lot of pain in his songs, to be honest. Like you can feel I mean, not in all of his songs, but like when he's not going hard, it's like it used to be kind of like a release for me to listen to him. I remember when I got out of jail, that's what I listened to. I listened to Institution. And then my favorite song on that album is If You Ain't Riding. You know that song?
I don't think so.
If you ain't riding, why the fuck are you lying? If you ain't riding.
I might if I heard
Yeah,
it. It's been a minute.
I used to just turn the bass up and just like, I was like that was whenever I was younger. That was 2015, so that was like when I was younger, and I remember like me and my parents like were having a rough time or whatever. Apparently my parents were like sick of me, and like they set up like family therapy, and they didn't tell me. And like one day I just like went, and I was just listening to Kodak Black in the whole session, and like just not giving a fuck, and then we never went back after that. Like I remember that I was listening to Institution, just like chilling, like getting my emotions kind of out, and still a lot of good memories from the early days, because I tend to hop on, and I'm sure you do too, but I tend to hop on artists like early, like when they're first when they're you know, popping off, like right before they pop off. Like there's so many artists that I've watched that I'm like, this guy's good, and they pop off, you know.
Yeah, I'm always trying to find like new stuff. I'm always looking for new stuff, I feel like, with music. I'm just listening always.
Right. And like one other person that like I knew back in the day was Denzel Curry too. I knew about him, and he's great. And then this is gonna sound crazy to you, but I went to see Juicy J when I was a freshman in high school, and that was 2012, 2011. And guess who opened up for him?
Who?
Travis Scott.
No fucking way.
And I was there, and there was like 50 people.
Damn.
And I followed him on Twitter when he had 5,000 followers.
Damn, that's fucking nuts.
I knew, like, I was like, this guy's gonna get big. Like, there's no way he's not. And yeah, I followed him since he was like even a thing. I remember like he used to respond to my friend. Like my friend used to like message him about beats, and he used to like respond before he got really famous.
Damn, that's nuts.
Yeah. So like some of the artists that I I've like listened to. I can't listen to Travis Scott anymore because I'm just so inflicted with his old shit, if that makes sense. His old shit
Yeah.
is straight up lyrical. It's like very artsy, you know, kind of like Kanye or Kid Cudi. And you know, like a lot of people don't know how great of a producer he is either. Like he produced pretty much half of Yeezus, you know, and all that shit. And
It's crazy.
yeah, so like that was a crazy concert because I remember it was like there's like nobody there. When Travis was on, because he came earlier, there was like nobody there. And then I went to his tour just because I was curious. I was like, how much is this dude blown up? I went to his, obviously I knew, but like I went to the Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight tour, and I was just like, this guy,
Whole different level, huh?
yeah, a whole different. There was just like a sea of people. It's like Jesus Christ. Like I remember when he had 5,000 Twitter followers and he was nothing.
No, that must have been something to watch for sure.
That was interesting because I still get people that come back to me and they're like, "Can't believe you were right." And I was like, "I told you." like I used to bump that in high school, like his old shit, and people would be like, "What are you listening to?" And I'd be like, "This guy, I kind of like him. He's new. He's from Houston, you know." And people would be like, "What the fuck? Who's this guy?" Like Travis Scott. And I was like, and then when he put out Days Before Rodeo, that shit kicked my ass. I love that album.
Hell yeah.
That goes hard, and then you know he had a feature with Young Thug, and that he killed it, absolutely killed it. And when that came out, I was still bumping that, and people were still looking at me with weird faces. And like before I'm dating my girlfriend now, like a long time ago, I used to like I met up with one of my exes probably like a year ago. And we got
Hey, 1 sec, bro. I gotta use the bathroom real fast.
Oh, you're fine.
Yo,
What's up?
yo, that was fucking stupid. Oh my god, bro.
What?
I just puked.
Did you?
Yeah.
For what?
From not even 2 grams of kratom.
Oh, is that? Gotcha.
This shit just must be fucking strong. I'm dead.
Yeah, no, I the only thing I get nauseous on is when I don't eat and I drink liquor.
That's the thing. I haven't fucking eaten shit today.
That's exactly why you're having that problem. You need to have something in your stomach. Even though it sounds contradictory, because you're like, am I going to throw this up anyway? No, but it really pads things. You know, especially
right.
like protein.
What were you saying though before?
I don't even remember. Oh, I was talking about the. Oh yeah. The only thing that's ever like what's crazy is like I've done so much DXM, never thrown up once. Like it's just interesting that so many people have these sick experiences, and like I'm sitting here, and you know whenever I didn't have access to shit, I'd buy like a whole bottle with guaf in it and like just down it, and
Shit's crazy.
never had any even nausea from it. Like I've never had any nausea. I'm just out of my mind when I'm on it.
No, I remember my fucking friend, bro. I think I told you, right?
Oh yeah, was he fucking going crazy?
I mean, he wasn't going like crazy, but he was just tripping the fuck out. You could tell, like he was just never experienced some type of shit like that before. To be honest, it was way different than the second plateau for the third. So
I mean, it's crazy because some people are just so naive that they're like, this can do that. I'm like, yeah, like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like this can act as a powerful psychedelic / dissociative, like, and it's just cough syrup. I'm like, yeah, definitely. It's weird like mushrooms because I don't know if you've ever done this, but like as like if I take mushrooms, sometimes I go on like hikes or something like that.
Right.
And then I'm just sitting there. Sometimes I like sit by a tree and I just think and go into trances and shit. And I just looked at the baggie I had of like my leftover, because I took 7 grams and I had some left over. And I was looking in the bag and I'm like, a fucking mushroom did this to me. Like I just had like this epiphany. I'm like, this is crazy. Like that this mushroom did this to me. I don't know if you've ever thought about that, but it's just like,
No, right. I mean, I feel like that with, to be honest, a lot of things.
yeah, like
I remember I felt that way strongly when I did that cactus.
yeah, I'm jealous of that.
Because like when I actually just made physical contact with the cactus, I could just feel how much like power and like just spirituality was emanating from it,
Yeah, I heard
and just nature in general.
I heard that's a beautiful experience.
No, I want to have it this summer probably again for sure.
Yeah, I've heard it's like, my thing that I've heard about it is like it's like probably the artist's favorite one. Like I heard that it like emotes color and art and shit like that.
See, I didn't get too many like strong visuals like that. I would say it was more like this mental, like almost like dream-like state.
Like low dose of salvia, kind
of. Almost. I mean, since it's phenethylamine, I would compare it kind of to MDMA.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, you're right. It is a phenethylamine.
But I was getting more like almost third person, like out of body hallucinations.
Yeah.
More towards the come up of the trip.
That's interesting. Sometimes that happens to me on LSD, where like I'll just have these moments where I'm just like, I just forget who I am.
No, right. I've had that. I think it was just a month ago. I took 2 tabs or something, and I just felt my mind like kind of go into the room almost and see myself in a sense.
Yeah. No, it's like I took 4 tabs like probably about a month ago, and like I just sat on the couch and just watched things the whole day, and shit got weird. But not in a bad way. I just like wanted to experience it again. Like I'm not an I guess I'm an advocate for all saints, but so I'm an advocate for LSD too. But I'm not as much of an advocate as like shrooms. I think that LSD is like fun and shit, but I think the real answers are like shrooms and mescaline, and some of the real like
the natural stuff.
Yeah, DMT even too, because it's just tree bark.
Right.
I find that stuff much more personal and healing. LSD's like kind of a good introduction to psychedelics, like kind of like it gets you like out of the state of like fear. Kind of, you're used to like what it feels like, but other than that, I think it's like a jumping point for me. LSD was. And then I wasn't really afraid to try something else.
LSD for me, well, I had 1P LSD first, and that just felt like it opened so many doors of possibility.
Yeah, I've heard that one's pretty good. Never.
I want to try it again just to see like, is there really like how much similarities are there really?
Yeah, I mean, I know. The one thing I do know that's very similar to LSD about 1P LSD is the safety. Yeah, so that's the only thing I know is that it's just as safe. But are you interested in trying Ethlad?
Yeah, I don't know if I think I told you I had it 2 times.
Oh, you did? I think you told me that too.
I had it with my friend. The first time we did it, we took 2 tabs of it, and he ended up like tripping the fuck out. And just having a really bad fucking time. Because felt like there was fucking aliens in the hotel room watching us and shit.
There probably was, dude.
No, right? But I was kind of vibing with it, and I was like very just interested in exploring it, but he was getting freaked out and shit.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I just get caught sometimes like when I'm on shrooms, I can't go outside if I'm in like a public space. because I'm just so like laughable and like I'm stoned and like I can't walk. And
No, right.
I was like sitting on the steps smoking a cig, and like this guy, like he lived up like near my apartment, and he never fucking, I don't know what he must do or like how old he is. He looks like he's in his middle age or something, but he clearly doesn't work, because like last year when it snowed all the time, like his truck would like just like would just look like a fucking, it was in like 10 inches of snow all the time.
Jeez.
So I went out and I smoked a cigarette. I was like peaking on mushrooms. I'm like, okay, let's try to like, because when the mushrooms kick in, I can't do anything in chronological order. Like it's hard. It's so hard for me to like, because everything becomes sort of relative when you're high, and it's just like it's hard to remember. Like, okay, apartment keys, cigarettes. Like I'm going to go do this and not be like, like distracted by everything.
No, right, and everything feels like it's rocket science.
Yeah, and I went out there and smoked a cig, and like that guy came out, and he was like, all the snow had melted and shit, and he was like banging on the hood, like screaming, like trying to get it to work, and like I cannot hold back. Like I was so gone, and I was just laughing my ass off. And I just like went right back inside. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Like, I don't need that. Like, oh. Yeah, it was just fun to like walk around. I used to just like take laps around my apartment on shrooms. My old apartment looked like the Shining hallway.
Oh my god.
Like a giant fucking hallway, like hallways. But
see, I need to take more walks. I don't think I've taken many walks on shrooms, to be honest.
yeah, my best experiences are not necessarily on walks, but they're always outside. Like,
yeah.
And for some reason, like I've had a bunch of solo trips inside and sat in silent darkness, and that was very, very beautiful for me. But like the best trip I've ever had, the best trip of all time that I've ever had was 7 grams of psilocybin in a tent. And like the roof was like, you could see like the trees and stuff out of the roof. And that was by far my favorite psychedelic experience. Like it was like easily the most intense. I was trancing out. I was like getting all this information. I was talking to it. I was like seeing all these like hieroglyphics and shit like all over everything. And I was like crying. Like I was literally like crying because I was so fucking like just like in a happy way. And
No, it sounds so beautiful.
I was like just chilling there and like sitting down and like smoking weed to like kickstart it and shit. And like I don't even know how to describe it. Like I had a vision of like my grandfather who passed away, and like, and the mushroom told me, he's like, or whatever, the mushroom spoke to me after I had that vision, and it was like, don't be afraid, don't be sad, your grandfather is in you. And I'm like, I don't say it out loud, but I telepathy talk back to it. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean by that? And it's like, he's your ancestor, and it all comes into you. You embody the characteristics of your ancestor. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's so fucking deep and like moving. Like, and then I got freaked out too. I didn't get freaked out. Like I wasn't freaking out, but like I closed my eyes and I was like asking it questions, and I was like, what are you? And it told me like, I'm everything. I've always been everything. And I was like, dude, like this shit's crazy. Like I write all this shit down in my notebook that I've heard. Like it's nuts.
No, this is so incredible.
I mean, I just like the first time I ever did that, like I could not believe it. Like I literally, whatever it is, like it doesn't matter to me if it's like a part of my unconscious or like it's a mushroom experience, because like it doesn't matter in the long run. You're still getting those effects. It's just weird. It's like you're in a state of schizophrenia for like 6 hours. Like somebody else literally takes your ego and like fucking, it's like a fucking what is it, like a, that shit in your car that you use to back up and reverse and shit. I feel like psilocybin just like takes control of like your entire like who you are, and like I don't know, it feels like a brain massage. But
Not exactly.
when I was coming down, all I could see was like I was looking around at like we had like tent poles and like different things. I brought like a fuck ton of like weird things, like sensory objects, and I was looking around my tent when I was coming down, and like everything I looked at were like there was these weird symbols, like it looked like hieroglyphics or something. I was just like, what is this? Like, I had no idea what I was looking at, and it was like really interesting. But that
Ancient.
yeah, it's crazy. That was the easily my best experience I've ever had in my life, like from any psychedelic. And I was with somebody that took 5 grams, but they were like the embodiment of like a hippie. They were like so cool. But that was their highest dose too, was 5 grams. I'm like, I'll take 7. 7's like my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And I like 9 grams too, but depends on the mushroom. Yeah, I want 7 grams is like where I feel comfortable.
Yeah, I've always been an 8 for me.
An 8th, yeah. See, that's too low for me. I every time I have the mushroom experience, I want to experience the trances and the spirituality and the voice. So like for me, if I take below let's say if I take below 4 grams, I feel like I have blue balls because I can't get there. You know what I mean? I can't, like, I'm almost there, but I can't reach it. And like I just don't microdose mushrooms because like that's all I want to experience in mushrooms is the higher doses. Because it just feels like anytime I'm on a low dose of mushrooms, I'm like I am like restrained or something. I don't know. But it's probably
I kind of feel like I have an openness to it. I feel like I'm open for any dose and whatever lesson it wants to bring to me.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great. I'm just a snob with mushrooms. Ever since I've had that breakthrough experience, like I realized what a madman I am. Like it was like I remember I went over to my guy's house and he was like he's the same guy that got me the DMT. He's like college friend. He's like a tattoo artist. He's really cool. And he's like 10 grams. He's gonna sell me. And I was like, all right, 10 grams. Then I had to like pick something up. So I had like 9 and like 25 cents or something. And so I just settled with 9 grams. I'm like, just give me 9 grams. And he had like 4 people that were just like, passing the blunt around in his house, just chilling. And like I went around to the kitchen table and like I just started, because to me what it adds to the experience to experience mushrooms in a barbaric way, to me, like I like to just like shove them down my throat and like just imagine being like an ape or something. I had this 9 gram bag and like I just started shoveling these mushrooms down my throat, and like all these people just came around to watch. Like, and they just like were like amazed, and I'm like, and then that's in the moment I realized like I must appear to be so mad to people. Like, how much is that? I'm like, 9 G's, bro. Then my car broke down and I had to fucking drive home tripping balls.
Oh my god. Fuck that, bro.
It was crazy. Like they kicked in like right at the moment that like I called a towing service. Like they like got there and I was like, Jesus. But and then I had to drive home, which wasn't far, but like still out of the way, and the roads were like icy. Fuck.
No, right, and you're on 9 fucking grams.
I'm coming up on 9 fucking grams, and
right.
that shit's crazy. Like that, and it's funny. Like you're absolutely right when you talk about like you're open to like different doses and experimenting with different doses. Mm-hmm. I think you're right on the nose, because for me, like sometimes I'll take like 9 grams and it'll be like okay, and then sometimes I'll take 7 and it'll be like amazing. I'll be like,
right.
Why does 9 not good as 7? The most I've taken is 11.5, and that was a fun trip. It wasn't my favorite trip. But like, I think you're right when it comes to that. Like, I think there can be value in any dose, pretty much. I'm more of like mushrooms are kind of my thing. Like, I just like mushrooms more, and I think I'm just like, I'm always yearning to like get some knowledge from it, and I think that's why I take such high dosages. Or maybe it's just, but you just gotta remind yourself every now and then how appalling your dose is. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I know psilocybin's safe and everything, but like, I just feel like not a lot of people can handle that.
I'm probably gonna take some next week.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind you got?
Pink Buffalo.
Okay. I just like the cubes.
I think I'm just going to probably do a low dose trip because I'm gonna be shrooming probably every 2 weeks after this. After I start next week.
Okay.
So I'm gonna probably do 2-3 grams next week. Then just base that how I feel for the next trip if I want to go up or not.
Yeah.
And just see where it goes. But definitely probably gonna get into 5 gram plus trips here.
Those are interesting.
Next month, June for sure.
Like, dude, like I'm telling you, like whenever I took the first time I ever heard the voice, like and shit, I closed my eyes and I shut down all my sensory, perception. I blindfolded myself, I turned off everything, and I was totally silent and it was dark, and like I just had an amazing experience with the voice. But like then I looked around and it was like my floor was like covered in like like those lasers people try to get by in movies, like when some places like my whole fucking carpet was like covered in like these laser patterns that were green. I was like, what the fuck? Like just some weird like high strangeness shit, like, and like
that's the type of shit I fuck with.
Yeah, like sometimes I play guitar on it and I'm like, when I play guitar I'm like really hard on myself, and like it was like reassuring me, like like that sounds great. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I tried out, maybe it was just psychosomatic, but if it was psychosomatic it was worth it. I did that thing with the mushroom where I just sat in bed in darkness and I was like, apparently you can ask the mushroom to be another substance. You know what I mean? Like if you talk to the mushroom, like, and I was like, I'm gonna test this out. Like I'm gonna see if like this is something that happens. And I remember I was sitting there and I just got up and like be LSD, and like everything got more colorful for a second. And then I said be DMT and it didn't do anything. And but I said, and then I said be mescaline and it like everything got brighter. And it was weird, like it was only like certain things, but like it's probably just my psyche or something. But it's for sure weird. Like I don't know, that's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I and like the funny thing is like I journal everything. I keep all my experiences up to date. I try to, like, so I can remember everything. Because sometimes you just get lost in the amount of time you've done something, and like what day this breakthrough happened. Like, what day whatever happened. Like as soon as I was finished taking DMT, I wrote like a whole fucking essay about like my experience, because I didn't want to forget it.
Alright, you got to with these, to be honest.
Yeah.
The closer you write it, the more accurate it's gonna be.
Yeah, and I've never like for me, like I always say that like music like moves me kinda. But like I don't ever, and I know everyone's different, like I don't ever feel that way like when I look at a painting. You know what I mean? Like I've never like looked at art and I'm like, oh, I'm moved by that. But I was on DXM one time and I just grabbed like a pencil and paper and I just like poured my heart out and everything, and like I love drawing on, or not DMT, on DXM. I just love drawing on that shit. Like I feel like with disassociatives too, it's easier to remember your experience. And like a lot of
I don't know, man. I mean, because I'd be thinking about some DXM trips and like Man, like some like wonky shit be going on that I'm not sure if I'm gonna remember all of this because of how dissociated I am.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like all. I mean, there's some highlights, I'm sure, but like for me, it's like all clear pretty much. Yeah, and then I don't do stimulants because I have anxiety really bad. So
Yeah, fuck the stimulants, bro. They just fucking create a false perception.
yeah,
To
like
be honest,
I just don't want. I just hate stimulants. Like I with a passion. Like I used to do them all the time, but like I don't need extra anxiety. Like I already have like a shaking problem from a medical condition. Like I'm good. And like
right,
my
right.
heart's good, but like I had like these weird heart murmurs when I was a child, you know. So I'm just
Yeah,
like
fuck that.
I'm just chilling, you know. I don't want to like chance anything. I never
No,
want
right.
to.
It's just draining, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you into a zombie.
After a while, yeah. At first, it's like people like are like, oh, I'm like I love this shit, but that's the same way with any drug, heroin for sure.
It's just the dopamine, the rush too. You just use up your reserves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the primary. I'm sure you already know this, but that's the primary reason why um, you go into psychosis when you have methamphetamine.
Yo, dopamine deficiency.
Yeah, it's a dopamine deficiency because the reason it's a dopamine deficiency is because you've been pushing those receptors so fucking much. Like you said, it dopamine's still trying to fire. See what I'm saying? But it can't. Like it's still actively trying to use dopamine, but there's none left. So like it's strainful on your mind and your system to have all these things firing when there's nothing coming out of it. You're just like people that use heroin for a long time don't get high. It's like insulin to them.
No, right. It's just making sure you're okay.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what it comes down to.
right. And like you know, people deteriorate in those conditions and they don't realize that like you know you only have a certain amount of like reserve in your brain and
No, right. And you keep hammering these receptors. I mean, it's just wear and tear.
yeah,
Just give it time.
right. That's what I need to do with the fucking my receptors messed up. Fuck. I hate having this. It's been playing with me forever.
Nah, right. Must be fucking frustrating, bro.
It is frustrating. It's like I can get like a third of the trip that I usually get.
Yeah, it must feel like a waste too, like with
It's
how
not.
much you gotta be doing.
It's not really a waste because like I get some stuff out of it. Like I get spirituality and I get like moving patterns and like when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like crazy looking and shit like that. So like I get effects from it. I just don't get like the effects that I used to. Yeah, I like the colors and shit like that. It's just more like a state change for me.
I just keep giving it time, bro. It will come.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait and like just like clean everything out. I wish I had DMT because I could like probably clean that out with DMT.
No, right?
Like I wonder what would happen if I tripped on DMT right now. I wonder if I'd break through or not.
Alright, and that's where things are gonna end off. We got into some personal things at the last couple minutes there, and then just said peace out. But let me know what you guys thought about this, and if you want to see more. And also if you want to be a guest, join the Discord, or hit me up. But make sure to like and subscribe. It's been Someone That's No One, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.